Hey everyone, it's Karina. So welcome back to In the Life of a Mermaid. So I'm in my car again. Just got out of work, well, about an hour ago. So just been running errands since I got out. I'm gonna have dinner and then I have my personal training session tonight. So I'm kind of excited, a little nervous, just because last time I kicked my ass. But I'm excited, you know, just because I learn new workouts every time and just pushing myself and knowing that I can do it. It's always just kind of an exciting thing just to be like, yeah, like, you know, some things I never thought I could do. And, you know, when I'm there and just to do them, it's like, fuck yeah, I can do them, you know, and it just feels good. But today it's Monday, so happy Monday. I actually, in the morning, I was hoping I had a chance to do it in the morning, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, I woke up in a really, really good mood, and that's kind of rare for a Monday for me, or I think for a lot of us in general. But, you know, it hit me that it's not Mondays that suck, it's our attitudes that suck. You know, and like I said, today I just woke up in a really good mood. I think I was just beyond grateful just to be alive and to have another day, you know. And again, it really just put things into perspective for me that it's not Mondays that suck, it's our attitudes about Monday and just days in general, you know. But yes, I kind of wanted to just start off with that and share that with you guys. I did make a little list of some things that I wanted to cover, so just, again, it's just bullet points for myself just to kind of remind me of, okay, what I wanted to say or where I wanted to go, or at least the topic itself. Another thing I wanted to let you guys know, great news, I weighed myself this morning. So I'm down 21 pounds total, so woohoo! I'm so excited. My goal, well, the way I broke it down through literature, through Leadership Transformation, LIT, it's basically 20, I wanted to lose 60 pounds over the next 3 months, 20 pounds each week. 20 pounds each month, 5 pounds a week, 1 pound, less than 1 pound a day. So I pretty much met my goal already for the month, but I'm excited. I'm just going to keep pushing through. And again, that was just kind of more of a baseline goal. Obviously, I want to do more than that, and I'm going to continue to do more. But it just feels good just to know, like, I'm doing it. You know, I can kind of start feeling it with my clothes. Just in general, too, I think that's maybe where the positive outlook in life in general is coming through, or again, just feeling more confident within myself. And again, it's not so much to losing the weight, but the things that I'm doing that I never thought I could do. You know, like I said, I wake up at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, go to the gym. You know, I mean, alone, the waking up part that early is rare for me. If you know me, you're probably shaking your head like, yeah, that's weird. You know, and then the second part, let alone going to the gym, when I would meet people, they'd be like, yeah, I go to the gym 5 in the morning. I'm like, you're crazy. Who does that? And now it's like, oh, I do that. You know, so now I get it. But yeah, I was totally like judging you. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm super excited. You know, and like I said, it's just knowing that all my hard work is paying off. It just feels like really good, you know, and that I know this is just the beginning for me. So I'm super excited, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. All right, so the next thing. So I think going into this, I didn't really think about it. I was just like, fuck it, I just like jumped in. And then, like, now that I'm in, I think it's kind of hitting me of, like, what I jumped into. If that makes any sense. So, like, you know, when you just, like, jump and then you're like, oh, shit, the pool has no water. And, you know, you broke your leg. Like, that's kind of what I'm feeling. But, you know, I'm kind of being mindful and aware of those thoughts and kind of where they're coming from. And I think it's just the fear of, again, that not a lot of people know this in my personal life. And I think that's the fear, I think, of, you know, them finding out and either like not wanting to be part of my life, or just that fear of losing people. But I guess, I mean, which I've said to others, I need to kind of remind myself, if that's the case, then that means they're not the right people for me. And you know, deep down I know that, but I think it's still that little fear, but I'm trying to fight through it. So again, I'll encourage you, if you watch this, you know, if you have any questions, any comments, please, you know, feel free to comment, or again, hit me up, or whatever it is, any feedback, you know, how I'm showing up, anything that I could just take and be able to kind of learn and push myself forward and, you know, push myself even more than what I'm doing now. But yeah, so it's just that, again, just kind of realizing, you know, initially I was like, oh yeah, like, It's the internet. And it's funny because thinking that the internet, I'm sharing my life on the internet, it wasn't as scary. I think when I started seeing some faces of like, you know, people that I know are following me, that's when I'm like, fuck, you know, like, oh, they're going to see this. And, you know, but it's like, I'm not going to censor myself because initially there was something I wanted to share today. And I think that's what created the fear with it. That I'm like, I don't know if I want them to know that, you know, but again, it's like, the whole point of this is to share my story. And, you know, again, eventually I would love to share this with family members, like face to face, like, you know, not me and my phone, like, you know, me and them. So yeah, so I'm like, you know what, maybe this is just kind of the like the gateway to having those conversations. So with those people, so I'm shifting. I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys, kind of let you know what's been going on with me, and kind of what's been, you know, kind of in my head about it today, or just kind of in general. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna shift. Again, I encourage you to ask any questions. Feel free to reach out. You want to talk about anything, you know, we'll take it from there. Yeah, so I just wanted to share. Another thing that I wanted to kind of cover real quick as well. You know, I keep getting a lot of feedback, which I appreciate. I appreciate it. Keep getting a lot of support and love in general, you know, with my workout videos, with this. A couple people have hit me up. So I just want to say thank you so much for that. Like I said, it hasn't been easy, or, you know, it's kind of like a little roller coaster. Some moments I'm super excited, other moments I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? But again, just your love and support in general, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for subscribing. I think I was at 26 already, which, you know, really surprised me. And I was like, oh, cool. Thank you guys. I'm kind of going for a goal of at least of 100, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys. I mean, a lot. I was like, really, whoa, like, that's awesome. But yeah, so one thing that people keep asking me is like, oh my God, I like, how are you doing this? How are you, how are you doing it? Like, I've always wanted to, but I just can't. Honestly, like, just do it. If you want to do it, just do it. You stop thinking about it and just go for it. You know, that's kind of what I've been doing with a lot of things in my life lately. They're like, oh, I always want to do this, but, you know, we're always going to think of excuses. Oh, I'm to this, I'm to that, I don't have time, I don't have money, you know, whatever. There's always going to be a reason why not to do it. So just do it. If it's something that's calling you, if it's something that, you know, you keep thinking about and you're like, yeah, I really want to do it, then go for it. Like I said, I'm not super technology savvy. I mean, the first thing that my sister said when I, you know, had reached out to a lot of you saying, hey, I created a channel, like, go follow me or whatever, go subscribe. She was like, what? You got a YouTube channel? She's like, you're so not technology savvy. And I was like, I know. Like, I'm becoming a modern woman now. So again, if I can do it, you can do it. And if it's something that, again, you're passionate about and you've been wanting to dive into, then just go for it. You know, that's my advice. Like I said, I just jumped into it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. Think of your mission and your vision behind this and why you're doing it, and then just commit to that and let that drive you. Like I said, even when I was sharing in the beginning about, you know, the fear of just who's watching this, you know, and what I'm sharing, but it's like, you know what, again, my vision is to be able to be vulnerable, not just for myself, but for the world, and again, for those, my loved ones, and, you know, friends, family as well. So it's like, I'm gonna let that drive me and not the fear. So that goes for you, for those who have reached out and said you've been wanting to do this, but you know, you're not sure where to start or how to start. Just start. And I'm here if you need any support or any help like that, but just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. All right, and then the last thing, which was kind of my topic for today, or what I wanted kind of to cover. I know yesterday I talked a little bit about my PTSD, and I talked a little bit about my anxiety, or like my panic attacks. So I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. For those of you that are not familiar with it, I'm thinking most of you are. But basically it's just a diagnosis when you experience any type of trauma. And again, that can be, really, it can be anything from like a car accident to like you got bitten by a dog when you were a kid. It goes different levels of PTSD. You know, and again, the most common individuals would be like veterans or people who have been in the war. You know, so things like that. But yeah, so any type of trauma can lead to being diagnosed with that. Whew, this is a little tough, just because I haven't shared this with a lot of people. So I was sexually abused as a child. I was 5 years old. It was someone that I didn't know. Well, yes and no. They would sell like food stuff, cheese, whatever, around the neighborhood, and you know, we were playing outside, all the kids, and he just kind of, you know, asked me to come over and pulled me to the side, and you know, he sexually abused me. It happened 2 separate times. I just remember being super scared, and I remember him telling me if I would say anything that he would hurt me or hurt my family, which is why I never said anything. I think I was just scared. I didn't know what was going on, what to think, how to react. Honestly, I don't remember much. Like, after that, I don't know if I changed as a child or, you know, anything like that. Because I blocked it out pretty much for most of my life. I had kind of flashbacks or like dreams, kind of visions about it. But I've never, I think I always just pushed them down. It wasn't until like I was, 17, 18, that someone had shared their own personal struggles, you know, or sexual abuse. And then again, being in the field already at that age, at 18, 19, I started working in a halfway house. And, you know, all the girls, well, the women I worked with, were sharing their stories. And unfortunately, a lot of them also had, you know, child abuse in their history. And I think that's when everything just fucking hit me. It was like a train just hitting me. I remember that night, I just had like nightmares, but it was just reliving the whole experience all over again. And I remember waking up like just feeling like shit, feeling that shame all over again, feeling that guilt. And then it's like, you know, I woke up and I was like, fuck, it wasn't a dream. Like, that actually happened. Yeah, even then I reached out to a couple like coworkers, friends at that time, kind of, you know, talked about it. But I mean, I think I didn't even know how to deal with it myself at that point either. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I was just kind of just lost. And again, I think I felt like that little girl all over again. I just felt the pain. But yeah, you know, but again, it's something that I've kind of was just coping with myself by myself, just doing the best that I could. I think it wasn't until I got in my relationship, you know, and I started becoming intimate and active and stuff, that it really started hitting me. You know, because even though I knew I was with someone who was safe, it would take me to that moment with that individual. So it took a lot of learning, both from me and my partner. A lot of patience on his end. You know, that I was struggling with something that I had no control over at the moment. My mind would just go into that place of I'm in danger. You know, and then that would add more shame and guilt, because it's like, here I am dragging someone who's fucking amazing into all of this, you know? But yeah, like, I think that's when, you know, again, it really hit me, or I was really dealing with it, coping with it at that point, once I hit that point in my life. Because, you know, it was being triggered left and right, like so many different things, you know, certain feelings would just trigger it, and, you know, I couldn't control it. You know, and I'm talking about Sal. he's the one, you know, we're married now, but yeah, he's the one that got to experience all of this with me. But yeah, you know, it was, I mean, I'm beyond grateful to him for this, because he stuck with me and he gave me so much love and so much support. you know, this was like before I hit therapy, and he would like walk me through it, you know, give me breathing exercises, because like I shared, you know, at that point that's when like the panic attacks where I couldn't breathe, and I was like in that moment I was that little girl, and I was back in an unsafe place, you know. So like he would grab me and be like, hey, you know, where are you, you know, who am I? And you know, just saying his name, like saying Sal, will bring me back. You know, he would be like, hey, make eye contact, look at me, you're here, you know. And that would bring me back, and he would do like breathing exercises with me and all this stuff. And you know, so again, I will be forever grateful to him for that, because you know, he helped me just kind of find myself, and together we found ways of coping, you know, with the trauma and the effects that asshole had on me, and not just me but him as well. But yeah, and I was, you know, once I started doing therapy, that's definitely something that I still touch based on and started working on, just because, you know, yeah, me and Sal, we definitely had gotten into a better place with it. You know, he definitely had helped me, and I had come a long way, but I mean, it was still something that was still there, something that was still triggering me. So I did talk to a lot of my therapists. Like I said, I had a couple different ones, so each one I dabbed into it, and you know, each one had their own approach, so I was able to kind of touch different aspects of it. I've done, I believe it's called MDR. You're kind of like reliving it, but in a sense you're also able to, you know, like tap in, and you can kind of like, I don't know, inner child stuff, like talk to yourself, protect yourself, and so kind of just, you are basically taking ownership of the situation now as an adult, and empowering yourself and kind of shifting it in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I really don't know how to explain it either. I just know that it helps. But yeah, and I think it wasn't until one of the last therapists that I was seeing, the one that helped me get on the medication and stuff, you know, she also had been sexually assaulted or abused as a child, and she shared her personal story with me, and you know, not full details, but just said, yeah, you know, I was abused, this is, you know, kind of, you know, baseline with it, whatever. And you know, and she basically just normalized it for me, that, you know, that unfortunately shit happens, and that we're not alone. And you know, she's like, you can't let them take away your sexuality, you can't let them take away, you know, this from you. She's like, you know, you're a woman, and you should be able to enjoy every aspect of your marriage and your life, you know. So she's like, you know, it's just about communicating and owning that back. You know, so I was able to do that, like after, you know, she said that, I mean, it took some time, but I was able to just kind of process and see that, and, you know, again, communicating with my partner and just saying like, hey, you know, I was abused as a child, I've been doing therapy, I've been doing different exercises, but unfortunately there's this still part that I struggle with. You know, I want to work towards, you know, completely taking that trigger away, but it's gonna take time, and you know, let's work together towards it. And you know, we have, like I said, it definitely has gotten better. So again, just communicating with your partner, I think, is the biggest thing. If you know, you have been abused, assaulted, raped, whatever it is, you know, just communicate with your partner, look for support, talk, you know, again, therapists, friends, the police if it just happened, you know. And if you're a parent, like, you know, I'm not blaming anyone except for that asshole, you know, but again, just being aware of your kids, and I think talking to them about these things. I mean, I was so scared, you know, that's the reason why I never said anything until now, you know. But again, just talking to them, letting them know, like, hey, if someone does this, you know, that's not okay, like, it's okay to talk to me, it's okay to talk to me. It's okay, you know, let us know what's going on. So that would be my biggest advice, if anything, if you're a parent, to communicate with your kids, you know, and just be aware of them if there's any changes in their surroundings and things like that, if anything could have happened to them. Again, I think that's another reason why I'm sharing this, because I've also been able, to like, just let this stuff go, you know, just to be able to really be open and let it go. And, you know, again, if I can do this here, I can have these conversations individually with my loved ones. And another thing too, I prior to Lit, I didn't want kids. I was so scared, and I realize now that it's that fear of not being able to protect them all the time, and that fear of what if this happens to them. You know, but again, all I can do is do my best. And, you know, once I do become a parent, just having that open communication with them. So yeah, so again, this is another reason why I'm sharing this part of my story and my life, just to be able to help others. If, you know, you've been through it as a child or as an adult, you know, whatever, just know that you're not alone, and know that it does get better, and that, you know, you will survive, and that you can find a partner who will be amazing and support you and just be there for you. I did have another incident as well. I was about 12 or 13. I was walking to school to pick some, I don't know, a neighbor, a friend, whatever, pick someone up from school. And I was wearing shorts and a tank top. I've always kind of been, you know, I've always had boobs. But yeah, I was walking, and he passed next, like, by me, and he, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. And then he comes back, kind of just stands around, and then, you know, turns back around and passes by me, and then grabs my breast. Again, I was like shocked. I could feel the color out of me like just go down. I was just kind of like frozen. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. I just kind of kept going, but I remember, you know, I forgot who I was picking up, but I picked them up, and I went back home, and I remember changing into a t-shirt. Because I just felt so ashamed, you know, and I felt like it was my fault, you know, if you weren't wearing that shirt, if you weren't, you know, showing off the goods, you know, that wouldn't have happened. But again, it, you know, it took time, or at least, you know, me being older, to realize that, no, I should be able to wear whatever the fuck I want, you know, without having anyone come and harass me or touch me in any way that I don't want to be touched. You know, regardless of my age. That goes now, you know, if I decide to wear, you know, booty shorts and my booty's out, like, it's, you know, you have no right to touch it. You know, unless I ask you to, or, you know, I say it's okay, like, you have no right, you know. And same thing goes back to that incident, you know, that he had no right to do that. That one I do remember a little bit more, because I remember I did, I think for a while I kind of started wearing more baggy clothes, kind of covered, you know, just my chest in general. I was just very more self-conscious about it. Again, it took therapy and stuff like that to be able to realize that you know, that I was the victim, that, you know, he was a grown man. I was 13, 14 at the most, you know, so he was in the wrong. And again, that I could wear whatever I want, and it doesn't justify anyone, you know, touching me or doing anything like that. So again, that goes back to just being mindful of your kids' surroundings. I think, you know, teach our boys, or men in general, that just because someone's wearing something doesn't mean that, you know, they're asking for it, or that you have the right to touch them. You know, or again, girls too, we don't, you know, it goes both ways. Just teaching individuals in general that, you know, we have the freedom to be who we are, dress how we want, and it doesn't invite you to, you know, harass us, touch us, or anything like that. So again, with that one, I think that's kind of what I want to share. But yeah, so today got a little deep. I probably should have told you guys a little bit before it started, but I figured, hey, it's PTSD. You should kind of have a general idea what that means. But yeah, so again, I'm want to just share again to let these things out and to hope, you know, it can help others. It hasn't been easy, but you know, I've survived. I've been able to kind of share my story with some clients and kind of be able to help them. So again, I hope this can help others. And again, if you want to talk about it, you want to hit me up, like, please feel free to do so. Sorry, that sounds like in my face now. You know, please feel free to do so. But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to share. Don't want to end it like this, so let me think of something positive. So again, I had a great day. I think just knowing that I lost 21 pounds, it just really just motivated me to keep going. I'm excited for my session tonight. I'm gonna go eat real quick and then get dressed and go over there. But yeah, so again, I will be back tomorrow, sharing more stuff of my life. I hope you guys have a great night, and again, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. I love you. Bye.